We are live. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Money GPS Live. I want to thank you all for coming in today. Just going to set up all the control panel and everything on my end here. If this is the first time you are coming into the Money GPS Live, I want to let you know that this is one heck of a ride. We're going to go for 1 hour today, and I want to just welcome you and let you know that you can ask any question you desire. I'm going to try to bring the truth to you today and give you tomorrow's news today. Nothing like it on the internet, I assure you, and the change is coming in the Money GPS 3.0. You will love them. I will be certain you will love them. It's going to be more detail, more concise, and we're going to go that route. Okay, so I'm just setting up everything on my end here. Got to do this live. I got 5, count them, 5 platforms going on at once. I do all of this myself. There is nobody working the systems in the back end here. This is all me. Here we go. There we go. Let's do it. Let's do it. All right. Today, the message is all about the weakest link, the weakest link, the weakest link. What does that mean exactly? We will talk about that momentarily. Hello, Instagram. Welcome to the show. You are welcome to ask any question, and then I will get to that. I just wanted to look a little bit at the charts, at the indicators, and see what's happening today. I'll give you a breakdown. Market's kind of looking iffy over the past few days. I had told you this already in yesterday's live, I believe it was, where I broke it down and showed you that sort of the steam is running out of the market. And of course, that can change at any point, but I'm just letting you know, like day to day. I can give you that information. I could actually basically tell you what the heartbeat of the market is instead of just saying, some sort of arbitrary method of investing. Okay, I can actually give you the heartbeat, but that all depends on you. If you don't want to hear it, you don't have to hear it. Hood jump. Yes. I'm going to talk about. Stay tuned. We'll talk about that hood, also known as Robin Hood. Welcome to the 4 people on Instagram coming on in. Hello, hello. The weakest link is not buy and hold for the long term because the market is one direction over time, and that is 100% up. Always good. Always good. Unfortunately, Kittens will not be coming back on the show. Received yet another complaint, a formal complaint, veiled threat of losing a subscriber as a result of the kittens. So I think we're going to retire the kittens because that's the way it is. We come here for the truth. Thank you. Thank you. Hood, GME, AMC, Doge, all you need in today's market. I don't know if that's a joke. I'm under the assumption it is. BTC to 100,000. It's still iffy. Still iffy. Actually, let me check it right now before I put my foot in my mouth. That's 39,000. Yeah. Let's see. I don't know. I really don't know. It's not that strong right now today. I'll tell you that. Over time, it could. But BTC, all cryptos, these are risk assets. Thank you, TikTok, for coming on in. You're welcome to ask any question you wish. Glad to see everybody in here. Robin Hood. Yes. Why am I so cool? I think I'm probably the least coolest person. I am not familiar with any, terms. I love books. Okay, I love history books. That's the way I am. Nothing like a good espresso or maybe a nice herbal tea and a book. To me, that's the best. That's the best kind of day right there. Thank you very much for the support. Appreciate that. Yes. Thank you for the comment here. I've been posting on TikTok. Thank you, TikTok. I've been posting on YouTube stories, Instagram stories, but now I actually did a YouTube short. The only problem is I don't know if the algorithm is going to see the short, it's going to get less views, and then that's going to pull the whole channel down. I'm experimenting with it. If you guys like the YouTube shorts and the stories and all that, let me know in the comment section, please. I need to know this stuff. You have to give me feedback because we're taking this channel to 300,000 views despite the shadow ban. I'm telling you, I'm going to break through this barrier, and I need you to be by my side. What do we got on TikTok? What is the best ETF right now, please? That is a very general question. And I think that you got to look at what I call the paratrooper trading strategy. What does that mean? Top down, okay? You look, is the market bullish at this time? Then you go down to the indexes. Then you go down to the individual sectors in those indexes. And then we can go down and start looking at stocks. Then you got to decide, right? Do I want to be invested in commodities? What's the deal, right? I need to know that information, but it's only at that very time. Okay, I cannot give financial advice, and don't trust anybody that does. I should also let everybody know, if you are a subscriber to the Money GPS, I know that you are aware of real investment advice. I show those charts and articles all the time, and I secured an interview with Lance Roberts, the head of Real Investment Advice. I'm recording that on Friday. That's going to post on Sunday morning. So stay tuned. I'm excited because this is like, Real Investment Advice is my favorite resource for information consistently day after day. And I actually secured an interview. So stay tuned for that, okay? No, it's not fun and fancy to talk about that kind of stuff. I know, but Lance Roberts is really, really good at breaking it all down. It helps me out a lot too. So stay tuned for that. All right. Will there ever be a crash? I'm waiting for one, but nothing has happened. Yes, I'm assuming you're talking about the stock market. Will there ever be a crash? When interest rates go higher, we know there's going to be a problem. Can they keep interest rates low forever? No, you got to understand how interest rates are manipulated, and that is called open market operations. Open market operations are literally printing money. When you print money, you can push the interest rates down. When they let the pedal off the metal, then interest rates can rise. So, are they going to reduce the amount of money that they're printing? Well, you tell me. Only time will tell, right? All right. Thank you all for coming on in. Nice. Great connect with you and your viewers. Longtime follower. Awesome. Thank you, Jason. Appreciate that. Yeah, I'm trying to do what I can to actually build a relationship instead of just through the comment section, which is polluted with all different types of spam and nonsense. I've had people, unfortunately, I had somebody on my Instagram who said, hey, this is really weird. You know, I sent you the money, but something's not right. I said, excuse me, what's going on? And it was the scammer who was posting, they set up a channel, the Money GPS _, and then they were replying to everybody saying, hey, this is my backup account that I don't want because crypto, this and that. So, I'm doing this, and then start asking questions, making it seem familiar. They knew what my name was. So they actually went a little bit in depth to figure that out, and were messaging people directly. And unfortunately, the guy got burned. I think it was like $500. Thankfully not a huge sum, but still got burned of that. And it's just really sad to see that. So anyway, I'm tired of all the spam. I'm tired of all that. I am trying to get towards people. That's why I have the Money GPS Insiders. Perfect time to plug it. Perfect time to plug it right here. The Money GPS Insiders available at themoneygps.com. This is my way to get to you directly. I am sick and tired of all the shadow banning. It is nonsense. I'm tired of it, okay? I've been on this platform for 10 years and they treated me like a bag of dirt. That's why I'm doing what I can. I need to get this thing up to that 300,000 mark. We could break free of the shadow ban and we could take this system to the next level. I am planning all kinds of things. I'm looking at new things to do on the website. I am looking at an app. I'm looking at like all different stuff right now. Trust me, I am putting my pedal to the metal. They're putting the pedal to the metal on the QE. I'm putting the pedal to the metal on the Money GPS. So I want to thank you for that. Really do appreciate it. Housing market is only as strong as the lenders, in my honest opinion. Yes. Once the lenders start to unravel, you'll see some pain. Hey, GPS, do you think it's worth starting a business in a high-tax country? I know it sounds stupid, but is it worth it in regards to building your form of self-employment? Yes. Okay. So listen to me. Okay. It depends on the type of business. But if you know how to structure your business properly, you can do it and pay little to no taxes. What am I talking? How is this possible? Well, if I invest this year, Okay, I spend a lot of money this year. That's an expense. And I don't pay taxes this year because I spent so much money. But that's going to benefit me next year. You see? So then let's just, for example, I buy a whole bunch of inventory, or I hire some consultant to do this and this to set up this type of business for me, some part of the business. That's an expense today. I'm not earning income on it today, but tomorrow I'm earning income on it, or the next year I'm earning income. So then next year, what do I do? Okay, now I got to figure something out. But at least for this year, I'm good. Now maybe I kind of do the same thing. So I make just as much as I need to with the business. All the extra profit, I'm going to basically just constantly push that into next year. And then you figure it out as you become more sophisticated. That's the way it should be, in my opinion. You've got to utilize business is the fourth asset class that people do not know about. They invest in stocks. Why? Because they don't know businesses. They don't know how to set up their businesses. It's a big difference. Look, there's a big difference between you and Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett gets the sweetheart deals. He doesn't pay the price that you pay. He knows in advance when things are coming. He understands these things time and time again. You and I, we got to buy in based on the public information. And no, you can see your stocks appreciate over time. There's no doubt. But it's a whole different world. But when you are a business owner, you have so much control that it's not even close to what you're seeing with stocks. With stocks you invest, you don't know. You really don't know. And then, of course, you could take your corporation and you can move that corporation elsewhere. Maybe you want to move to the Cayman Islands. I don't know. You decide that, right? But it's up to you. That's the point. But just worry about this year. And of course, if you take a loss this year, if you took a loss the year before, then you do well the next year, you can write off the losses in those two previous, actually depends on where you are. But you may be able to write off the losses in the two previous years into the following year. How does that sound? That sounds pretty good. Can you do it with stocks? Well, you could just not sell. You could just not sell your stocks. But of course, what's the purpose of the asset? I'm unsure. All right. Kittens, rainbows, unicorns are the highlights. I know. I agree. I don't know, but last night the IRS just deposited $2,200 in my account. Not sure why, but you should probably be sending that over. There's a PayPal link that you can send that to. I'd appreciate that. Thanks. Thank you, TikTok, for being with me. Oops. All right. Good stuff here. We got all kinds of people in the house. Oops. I don't know what I've done. I messed up Instagram. Hope you guys can still see me. There we go. All right. I got to bring this all the way down. Here we go. I have been a subscriber for 2 years. You really helped me and my family get through 2020. You were talking about the repo in September 2019. I definitely appreciate you. You see that? Thank you, James. Thank you, James, because this is what I'm talking about. I bring tomorrow's news today. They're talking about the repo like, way after the business is being, when it's important. They're not talking about it when it's important. They're talking about it way after. That's why I'm trying to bring that to you and stress the importance of these things. The weakest link for everybody in here right now. Let me just say it. Let me just give you a little spoiler alert. But hold on, before I do, hit that thumbs up. Okay, we got 64 likes in here. Come on. We got to pump this up, guys. Come on. And then I'll tell you what the weakest link is today. I've talked about it before. Let's do it, guys. Let's pump that up. We got 68 likes right now. Why does my viewer count show on Facebook? Not sure. Can't help you with that. It's if you're in, I see your comments, so everything looks good for me. I don't know what this like. This is like 90% of business startups fail. That's actually not. That's a false. That's a false statistic anyway. But what does that mean? That means maybe you got to start 10 businesses. That means maybe you got to start 10 businesses. How many times have you done something and it didn't work the first time? In fact, how many times have you done something and you were great at it the first time? It could happen. You pick up a guitar. Are you good the first time? Nope. Are you good the second time? Absolutely not. But you keep doing it. Keep getting good. Keep getting better. It's the way it's got to work, right? Failing is like, don't focus on the failure. Never focus on the failure. That's silly. You never focus on the failure. You always try to attain your goals, whatever those goals are. Always bring yourself up to the higher level. That's what you've got to do. You can't be focused on what everybody else is, sitting there twiddling their thumbs, wondering what's going to come next. If you want to build something, you can do it. Don't let anybody tell you any differently, okay? I'm telling you right now, I'm giving you permission to be successful. Whatever it is that you want in any way. If having, 80% of your food being grown in your backyard is your goal, you can do that. Doesn't matter where you are. You could be in a very cold climate and you can make that happen. You can do that, but you got to work hard at it. Nothing good comes easy. And if it does, a lot of times it flies out the window. How many times do the people win the lottery? 3 years later, the guy's bankrupt. How did it happen? The guy won 50 million and now he's bankrupt. Why? Because it came easy. Okay? Now, the weakest link today. Come on, guys, you got to hit that like button. Only a few people did. Let's do it. Let's do it. The weakest link today is retail and offices. In connection with this real estate, commercial real estate, we have derivatives. If you look at the different commercial mortgage-backed securities, these things are poisonous. They are, absolutely. And you can see that previously they were being shorted and so on. Why are they still alive? The simple matter of fact is that the Federal Reserve has essentially given permission to continue this for a long period of time. There's no indication that interest rates will rise in the near future. That gives them permission to continue on with higher risk assets. If equities aren't given what they need, or maybe they need a little diversification out of equities and they don't want to put their money into bonds, they're not appreciating that return there, then they look elsewhere. And something like a commercial mortgage-backed security might be interesting to some of these investment companies. Maybe not to you and I, but some of these investment companies. And so this is something that is terribly risky. But as soon as we hit a point of risk off, that will be the first thing to sell. That kind of garbage will be the first thing to sell. So I would be very mindful of that, which I believe is the weakest link today. It's not necessarily just the stock market or the amount of margin that's being used in the market today, or the fact that the bond market is just completely psychotic. No, in my opinion, it is the retail and the office space. And why? Because it doesn't make sense. Like, the amount of it that we have today, it's going to take an extremely long period of time to fill it up. Do you get what I'm saying? There's this mentality now of everybody's got to work from home, whether you agree with it or not, or whatever, it doesn't matter. That just shows you that a lot of these businesses are changing the way that they, the whole model of the way that they work. As a result, less is required. Yes, businesses can go in there, but is there really that drive, especially now with the weak economic growth? Not so sure. Not so sure. All right, we got support, and I thank you for that. Starting 10 business, I would say, is true. A local restaurant was bought and changed names probably 5 or 6 times, ultimately failed, but still. You have to do whatever you can, right? You got to do it. If you want to have a successful restaurant, you can do it. Maybe you start on a small scale. Maybe you just do catering at first. Maybe you do the ghost kitchen or the virtual kitchen or whatever they call it. Maybe that's a great way to get started, so that your upfront cost is, let's say, $5,000 and not $50,000 or $200,000. You could do it the ghost kitchen or virtual kitchen. Great way to start. But the point is, you do what you have to do. Don't listen to anybody. All right, good stuff here. Let me see what we got. There's a lot. Okay, so passive income, Jeff. Jeff, passive income business is the #1 for passive income. Maybe that's an online business. Maybe that's Amazon and so on. Or you could buy, like more traditionally, people would buy something like either bonds because, hey, if this government, or maybe it's a corporate bond, if this entity stays solvent, then it's passive. I put my money in, I'm guaranteed to get money out. Or if I sell products online, I could run it in a way that is pretty much passive once it's set up and running. And then from there, I could do what I need to do on the side and put a little effort here and there, tweaks and so on. That's another way. And it's really up to you. However, you usually need some sort of initial capital to make that happen. If you do not have that initial capital, then it's a different story. Now it's about the accumulation of assets. And you could do that through a business too. It just depends on the type of business, right? So if the business uses your own two hands, if you're a consultant in some way, maybe I'm mowing the lawns, maybe I'm cleaning the windows, maybe I'm washing cars, whatever that is, doesn't matter. You work and anything is sort of an honest day's work, right? So you make it happen and then you get that. Then you can invest in the passive. Before you get the passive, you have to do the active. All right, let's see what we got in here. I'm going to show you guys what's happening in the stock market. I just wanted to answer a few questions. Then we're going to look at what's going on in the stock market today before it comes out in the news. Like tomorrow, you're going to be reading the CNBC and the Bloomberg, and they're going to be talking about it. But I'll show you some information today. How do you deal with anxiety? To be honest, I'm not the best person to ask about that, but definitely I would say always have a purpose. Always have a North Star, always have a goal. These are small goals, which may be something just in a simple thing in the day, so the most simplest task possible. And then, you've got weekly tasks, you may have bigger tasks and so on. Always make those goals and celebrate them. Celebrate every single goal, big and small. My dad watches you all the time. Thank you. Say hello for me. We already reached 69 likes. Let's do this. What are we at now? 114 likes. Guys, come on. We got to hit that like button. Let's do it. Let's signal to the algorithms that this is good stuff. Okay? We got this right here. Have you seen the Instagram, the Patreon, the all these different platforms that I've got? If you haven't, definitely check them out because I'm posting content on them every single day. Every single day. Why do you always say that precious metals are the most manipulated assets on the planet? So you can search for GATA, and GATA will break that down. They've got so much information, okay? However, if you look back, and I covered this recently in a recent video, where once again, this happens all the time, every month or so, there's a new one, where some sort of trader, whether it's from Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, one of the smaller ones, they come out and it is found that they were manipulating the price of gold or silver. And it's not as if, it's speculation. Oh, maybe they must have been they find their emails. In those emails, they specifically say, wow, it was so easy. This is fantastic. Like they're kind of celebrating and boasting about manipulating the price. We know that it said it's so easy. Everybody does it. Like these type of quotes. And this is not just one instance. Like it's happened over and over and over and over again. And of course, doing that, they suppress the price. They can control the price and make it look less attractive as well. There's But I would say in terms of precious metals in general do not do well until everything else fails. I didn't say when things look scary. I didn't say when there's anxiety in the markets. No, no, no. When everything else fails. That's the way it is. It really is all about ascension. I came here for the truth. Thank you, Jason. Oh my goodness, there's a lot of comments here. Okay. People who let failure stop them probably don't know about the tub of failure, or whatever it's called. I'm not familiar with that either. But you just don't let, like, there is no failure. Like, just stop. Stop worrying about that. Okay, are you guys ready for the looking at, yeah, let's do it. Okay, let me share my screen. Okay, let's do this, guys. Hit that thumbs up while we're waiting here. Share the screen. All right, here we go. If you are on TikTok, hello TikTok. If you are on Instagram and you want to see what I'm showing on the screen for the next few minutes, it'll be 5 minutes, then you can go to YouTube and I have it all there. All right. Great stuff here. Let's do it. This is Bitcoin. Looking at this 39,300, and it is looking, in my opinion, it's okay. Definitely has some upside potential, but also a lot of downside potential from this point. Okay. Indicators are not, like, it's just not that strong. I don't think it's a buy-in point personally, but some people have been buying in. I want to show you this. That's right. Hood. Let's look at Robinhood. How crazy is this? Let me reorient this a bit. So at one point in the day, it was 85, and then it got brought down, got pushed down to about 70. So this is really intense. Some really intense moves here, which is crazy to look at. I mean, just okay, the first day was not good. Second day, not good. Third day was all right. Okay, now we're coming up back to like IPO price. The next day and the day after is just huge. Huge. Like, just look at that. And at this point here, the stock's too new. We don't have indicators or anything to go by. This is 100% speculation at this point. So, yeah, I don't know. A lot of people are getting in on this. I know, absolutely. A lot of retail investors, as well as my understanding is Kathy Wood bought, a decent chunk because Kathy Wood is basically buying anything to do with, any sort of big tech company like Tesla or what have you. They're big on that. Let's look at Tesla right now. Above the Bollinger Bands, anything that goes above the Bollinger Bands starts to get very risky very quickly. Okay, this is called a Bollinger Band, and it's just look at this historically, the way that it is. It doesn't mean it can't go outside of the Bollinger Bands, but usually when it does, it finds its way back in. People don't realize how important it's like. The technical analysis is important in a sense, and I understand there's so much manipulation. It is important in a sense because of the way that the algorithms and the traders are trading. Why does it find support? Why do stocks find support at the 20-day moving average, 50-day moving average, 100 and 200? Because all the traders are looking at that same data. You see? Like that's the way it works. It's just the way it is. Doesn't mean that you can predict the future, but you can increase probabilities. That's what trading's all about. Increasing probabilities. And it's different than like long-term investing, different story. This is TradingView. If you're interested, I have the link in the description. You don't have to use my link if you don't want to, but it's there if you want it. I'm actually surprised about crude oil personally because of all the geopolitical tensions taking place right now. If you look at the MACD indicator, this is like, just look at what happened over these past few days. Like, it's been very weak. It's unusual. Yeah, the crude draw and like the amount of inventory and all this. Come on, any geopolitical tension, the potential for the Strait of Hormuz to be closed up, there's always going to be that, and it should be impacting the market directly. But anyway, you're seeing a lot of downward price action at this time. We'll see what happens in the coming days. Whenever you see a pattern like this, maybe a bottom is forming and could move a few dollars higher. So I don't know, of course, at this time. Now looking at the S&P 500, again, it's another day. Look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Like 8 or 9 trading sessions where it's basically been flat. It's up, it's down, it's up, it's down. This is the S&P 500, by the way. And you're just seeing it just riding around in this range. And it certainly, you look at it, has not dipped below, over that period has not dipped below the 20-day moving average. So it is still, of course, bullish overall, but it's just losing steam. When I'm looking at this market, I'm seeing a market that is losing steam. And it could be definitely pushed higher. What I'm looking for here is the infrastructure bill to be passed. I'm looking for the debt ceiling to be raised. I'm looking for, a signal from the Federal Reserve, somehow more. But who knows, right? I think all of that stuff is going to go through. So we'll see. But ultimately, that's the kind of things that would definitely push this higher. Instead of being in this range, it would just kind of give it a huge boost upward. Okay, if there's anything somebody wants to know specifically, I can always look at that. But I just want to touch on that just to give you an update, okay? Because now the markets are going to be talking about this tomorrow, and you could see that it's going to be shown anyway. Watching on YouTube on the big screen, no like button showing today. All right, George. All right, you're off the hook, George. No worries. I appreciate everybody just being here. It's really good. 138 likes so far. Thank you very much for that. You got to hit that like button if you can, unless you're watching on your TV. That means my head must be huge if it's on your TV. Janet Yellen is watching. I wish he would show up. For anybody who wasn't here earlier, I have an interview I'm doing on Friday with Lance Roberts from Real Investment Advice. This is a resource that I'm using like basically every single day. If not using it in the video, I'm reading it. And Lance Roberts does an incredible job with Real Investment Advice to bring out a lot. Now, Real Investment Advice has been going with the deflationary thesis, saying that what the Federal Reserve is doing ultimately is running out of steam long term, and there's going to be a problem. There's going to be a big problem with that. So I want to ask him about that. Doesn't mean that he's not like they're right now they're fully invested. The company is acknowledging what they're doing. They give you their basic strategy, their outline, and they're invested. So they're not just hiding their money under the mattress. And I want to talk to him about that. I want to say, what do you think people should be doing? So I'm going to bring that to you. It will post on Sunday morning. I just see a lot of interviews, and you guys can give me your opinion on this. I see a lot of interviews being done with this person, that person, and it's just like forecasting. It's just like, where do you see the price of gold in 5 years? Where do you see the price of silver in 2 years? Like, I mean, that's good. That's great and everything. I don't see the value in that. I want to know like actual strategies. I want to know what's going on. I want to basically download what's going on inside that person's brain and bring it to you. That's what I'm trying to do. To get that download, bring it to you, and not simply just do a forecast. Like what's your price prediction for gold come 2 years from now? Like it just, I don't know. It gets clicks. It gets clicked because if that person says, like for example, I've seen all kinds of these different videos and they get millions of views. It's just like Bitcoin $1 million, and then like the person's name, and that gets so many clicks. So I guess I understand why they do it. I'm not after the clicks. I'm trying to actively help out. I'm trying to figure it out for myself. I'm a student here. I'm trying to figure out all of this. And anyway, I hope you appreciate that. Hope you appreciate it. So. You like from your TV, go to options, less if you're going to close caption. Insider info would be most helpful. Like spike. Here we go, everybody. Thank you for those. I appreciate it. We got to signal to this algorithm. That's why I'm literally posting like, no, there's realistically for somebody who's doing this on his own, excuse me, for somebody doing this on his own, I think I'm the most prolific person on social media in this space. Because I'm posting like 50 pieces of content a day. I've never heard of anybody like that unless they have a team of people. Modern monetary theory. Okay, so let me be very clear. I don't 100% know all of the ins and outs of modern monetary theory. I will say this: when you have big government, when you have any sort of government implemented program, it always becomes corrupted and it always wastes money. It is, I don't know of an example. I have read history. It's 15 years reading it on a daily basis, trying to figure out the ins and outs of why they're doing what they're doing and trying to come to a conclusion. So far, I have not seen any good example of anything of the sort. You cannot give money from one group of people to another group of people and somehow that ends well. It just doesn't. It just doesn't end well. The whole universal basic income and all these things, I understand. I really do. I understand where people's mentality is in that. Some people are making a heck of a lot of money and a whole bunch of people are making nothing. But we need to address where that actually comes from and not simply put another bandage or a band-aid on top of that. We have to address the root cause and then we can go out and fix it. What is a cheap commodity in your opinion? That's a very good question. What's cheap today? Oh my goodness. What is a cheap commodity? Off the top of my head, I think silver is probably the cheapest. But again, price is manipulated, right? Doesn't necessarily mean it's going to fall in line with where people think it should be. I think it's probably the cheapest. But I mean, like, who knows? Like, was lumber cheap at 1,000? It went up to 1,700. So, what's cheap, right? It's hard to say exactly. Janet Bubbles. It's crazy what Janet, like, I think it's funny that Janet Yellen had the Federal Reserve chair, then moves into Treasury Secretary. I mean, this person's just in and out of this system and not helping the little guy. That's for sure. Certainly wanting to create a bubble, I'll tell you that. Thanks for all the content. Appreciate it. Let me know, guys, what you want to see. I'm doing now YouTube stories, YouTube shorts. I'm going to try the YouTube shorts. We'll see how it goes, but definitely on the stories. I'm doing Instagram stories, Instagram posts, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn. Nobody brings out as much content as I am doing, and I'm doing so. If you haven't seen my Instagram and Twitter and all this, please definitely check it out, okay? Don't even subscribe. Don't worry. Well, maybe you should subscribe to it, but check it out. Seriously, because I'm posting like these different funny things, which is great because I was thinking about, I was sitting down and trying to address like what's going on here. There's not enough shares. And it's because, hey, a 15-minute Money GPS video might not be the best thing to share to your grandma, but maybe grandma wants to see a little funny little thing, and you'll see one tonight. Maybe, forget when I scheduled. So I scheduled them in advance. In maybe 10 minutes, actually, I might have scheduled that for, so you can check it out. But like little funny things, and they're memes, but they teach you just like a little bit of a tidbit of information, and those are great to share. You know what I mean? So you share that, then people might start following the Money GPS, or maybe they start asking you questions, or they do their own research and so on. That could be what starts the whole process. We have to do this. Like, there's no exceptions, but you got to do it the right way. And simply by, if you don't feel encouraged to necessarily send it to somebody else, simply by liking it, you signal to the algorithm that the algorithm should send it to somebody else. You see how that works? By sitting back, you are basically just you're being complacent with it. We have to do this actively. If you find content that you like, just hit the like button. That's it. That's the first step. Copper is cheap. You know, I don't remember what copper is doing right now. It's the last time I checked, it was just skyrocketing, but I could be wrong. I thought I covered that in a recent video. How can we watch the YouTube stories? I think you got to be on the mobile. So if you're on the mobile and you go to your like homepage and you scroll just a little bit, if you scroll a little bit, then you're going to see all of the people that you're subscribed to and others that are recommended to you, and you probably will see me come in right up in there. So you just go to your main homepage on your YouTube app on your phone and maybe your iPad, and then you just scroll a little bit, and it's one of the first things that you'll see. All right. I heard, thank you, Marie. I heard the reason the Fed don't know what the heck they're doing is because they are university scholars who are not directly from Wall Street. Well, I could tell you something, that when you look at the actions that they're taking, and then you see the results of them, quite frankly, so the Federal Reserve has what they claim 2 mandates, and that is price stability and full employment. All right. Full employment, we know specifically that printing money to buy mortgage-backed securities does nothing, absolutely nothing to help employment. And the second thing, price stability, if in fact it's the exact opposite. It is complete destruction of the currency over a period of time. By printing money, they create inflation that reduces its purchasing power. So they are doing the opposite. When they say these are our 2 mandates, it's like these are what we're trying to break. That's the way I look at it. As long as you get out of the mentality that they have us put in, I think you could start to change the what's going on. Instagram asks, definitely a fan of the short form content. Yes, and stay tuned for more. Stay tuned for more on that. All kinds of little videos. I'm now committed to three TikTok videos a day, which then I copy over to Instagram stories and Facebook stories and YouTube stories and all these different things, shorts and so on. Because why? The algorithm likes it, you see? And I'm trying to retrain the algorithm to put me back on the page, okay? Got to do it. I need your help. All right, we are 45 minutes into this, 169 likes. Let's hit that thumbs up button, guys. Help me out here. Got to push this up. The Fed chair is almost always an ex-Goldman Sachs exec. Yes, it's true. It is true. They love Goldman Sachs. They're obviously joined at the hip. the Federal Reserve, the Federal Reserve, the government in general, and Goldman Sachs, and of course JP and all those, they're basically all one entity. Let me just read. I'm just reading through your guys' comments here. Let's see what we got. Laundromats would be a good business. People have to wash their clothes in good times and bad. Yeah, I know there's a lot of people who actually, they have rental units, so they own multifamily residences, and in there they put the washing machines, and they charge a nominal fee for those washing machines and bring in a lot of money. That's just the way it is, you know. Or you can have obviously a separate laundromat as well. It could be a good business. It really could be. I mean, it depends on your area. You got to have a lot of rental units in the area. You could see what the clientele is going to be like. It's up to you, right? I do agree. It could be a good business. Could be. I prefer what I personally prefer is online businesses, and the reason you want that, especially if it's a side business, is that something happens in your town, you pick up and you go. You don't have to worry about, this or that. You really don't. Okay, so you just pick up and go. You've got your business. Your income is coming in. It also is great if your income isn't dependent on one country. So let's say you sold a product online, but you relied exclusively on the U.S. consumer. That's fine if the U.S. consumer is doing well, but what if it's not? Could you sell that same product or service to the UK, to Australia, to maybe parts of Asia, wherever? Then we're talking. If you have a global audience, suddenly, you're I don't know, whatever. You got some widget that you're selling or a service because you're excellent at this or that, and it's applicable to people all around the world, or at least more than one country. Now you have something really strong. It's really strong, just like any stock, right? Like if you look at it and they're highly dependent on one particular country and they get taken down, like look at what happened with these Chinese tech stocks. Something simple like that, they're just rocketing higher and then smashed. One little change, smashed. Susan, thank you very much for the support. As always, I appreciate that. I want to thank everybody for the super chats. That always helps out. All right. Goldman Sachs now the oldest bank on Wall Street ever since Lehman and Bear Stearns both went defunct. I don't know about that. If anybody knows, please post it below. I'm interested to know. Maybe. I didn't think so, but it could be. All right. Instagram question here. What do you think about buying copper as a store of value that is likely to appreciate even more than inflation increasing? Yes. The only problem is where you getting the copper, where are you storing that copper? It's obviously, you can't hold a small piece of it and have a lot of value. You got to have a lot of space for it. In general, it could be good. Where are you going to sell it? That's the other thing too. You're buying it. Where are you getting it from? Number one. Where are you going to put it? Number two. And then where are you going to sell it? Could you make profit from it? Absolutely. Absolutely. It depends on what's happening here. The China credit impulse had gone negative, and usually there's a lag. That's a lagging indicator, and you start to see the effects of it coming, let's say 6 months down the road and so on. And that happened a few months ago. I don't remember precisely right now. It did happen a few months ago. And so that would signal deflation. That would signal less need for things like copper. But we only know in time. Right now, all commodities, for the most part, are going up. I showed a recent post that I made. The CRB commodity index is just up. It's just up. Yeah, lumber went down, and there are a few others that kind of had a little bump in the road, but crazy. The Money GPS. In the life of any product, the rate of failure is highest at the beginning and at the end. That's the table. Okay, got you. Yeah, I agree. You got to make it over that initial hump and get in, and you'll do well, and then hopefully you can keep that going for a long period of time, right? Yes, Earl. I agree. The 2008 crash really helped financial institutions consolidate. Yes, more power, more control in the hands of the few, no doubt. All right. Do you see a bubble? This is Instagram asking, do you see a bubble in the fossil fuel sector with the increasing calls for lower emitters? I think longer term, yeah. Not a bubble necessarily, but I think that rather whatever you think about, green energy and this doesn't work and this you see the mandate. So like what did they do to the coal industry, right? They said, "Oh yeah, do you remember what was that? Maybe 8 years ago? I don't even remember anymore. But when the call came out saying, "Oh yeah, you can have your business in coal, but we're going to charge you tax. We're going to bankrupt you." Okay? So that's what they'll do. That's what they'll do. They just make it too expensive for you to do. Oh, no, sure, there's no restriction. Go ahead, please. But you're going to pay. You're going to pay for it. Just like they can do that with your driving. Right now, you're driving a car, but what if the tax to drive that car, what if you're now paying for every mile driven? What if the gasoline prices is just astronomical? What are you going to do? So we'll see. I think they'll make it prohibitively expensive to do business using, coal and any of what they deem not carbon efficient or what have you. Instagram, true, it might take a lot of storage space. That's a consideration worth looking into. Yeah. So if you have like a big storage facility or something, you could do that. Or you could just do it on a smaller scale too, right? Maybe your goal is to make $100. Maybe you're not trying to make $1 million, right? All right. Lots of great questions today, guys. I'm going to go for another 10 minutes or so I appreciate you all being in here. Don't forget to hit that like button, guys. Come on. Help me out here. 140 per liter here today. Yes, absolutely. I know people in California and so on are seeing it $4 a gallon higher. What if you guys are in California? Post it. Wherever you are, in fact, wherever you are, what is your gas at right now? And then people in Europe, there are probably not that many because they're probably asleep by now. But people in Europe are just the amount that they pay for electricity and for all types of different resources, whatever that is, like their gasoline and stuff. Oh my goodness, it's unbelievable. It's worse than Canada. It's crazy. Let me know. $2.99 a gallon we're seeing over here. $4.39. See that? Depends on where you live, right? Depends on where you live. I'll go another 10 minutes, 55 minutes later. I'm not going to do that today. No way. No way. I got to work on this video. Definitely have to work on this video. $2.69 for 87 in Houston 2 weeks ago. Yes. Texas definitely cheaper than California, looks like. Instagram, how are you there? Thank you for coming on in. Don't forget to hit that like button on Instagram too. Can I hit my own like button? Is that possible? I wonder. Let's see what we got here, guys. 329, 425. Saudi. Okay, well, that's a whole different story. That's probably per liter. Is that per liter or per gallon? Regular, yeah. The prices are crazy. Anyway, the point about that is $5.95 per gallon. There you go. When you convert it from liters to gallon, you're getting $5.95 in Montreal. I think the point right here, yeah, that was per gallon. Okay. Yeah, a whole different story in Saudi, right? So I think the point here is it really depends on where you live, but things are becoming very expensive already And based on what Goldman Sachs is saying, this is the beginning of a commodities super cycle. So think about the possibility of, what's going to happen oil at $100 a barrel. We've been there many times before. It wouldn't be the first time ever. It's not an extreme scenario. We've seen that before, multiple times. So oil at $100 a barrel, what would that look like for gas? Does it ever come back down? Nope. Definitely doesn't. All right. Yeah, even on Instagram too. 320, 469. Depends on where you are. Yeah, exactly. Instagram, can you hear me? Testing 1, 2, 3, Instagram. Yeah, so I think that it's something that people should be keeping an eye on and doing what you can. You got to do what you can to mitigate the effects of inflation. What I talked about in my initial book, not like as advice or anything, but like sort of the mentality behind it is, okay, the products that I buy using oil are going up in price, so I'll buy that commodity so that as it goes up in price, I'm offsetting that by my appreciation in it. Do you see what it means? Like, I hope that's beneficial to you. Okay, this is going to go up, so I'm going to buy it. So as it goes up and rises higher, I'm offsetting the price. That's the way you can think about it. People don't think about assets like that, but usually what I do is I like to take the general view of it, sort of an overview of whatever we're looking at, and I like to turn it around 180 degrees and get a completely different perspective from it, of it. That's just the way it is. I have to ration clean drinking water, bro. It's double the price right now. That's a big one. That's a big one. Reverse repo still over $900 billion. Yes, I would absolutely watch out for that. I would watch out for that because I think that this is just signaling how bad things are getting. It's going to go up and down, but certainly it's been going crazy over the last while. Reverse repos right now are just insane. Two medium topping Domino's pizzas used to be $12, now $24. No inflation, Jerome Powell? No inflation? Are you kidding me? Come on. I don't understand. I really don't understand. I'm going to end I want to show you guys something. If I can get this. Let's see. My Instagram. I'm going to show you this funny thing. Does it show here? Can I show you that? Oh, I think it's going to be blurry. This is a post I made. Oh, maybe if I hold it back here, you're probably not going to be able to see the text. It says, so you see the picture anyway. When inflation hits 20%, this is Jerome Powell's face. And at the bottom it says transitory. And you could kind of just see the shifty eyes. I know it's blurry. But that's the kind of thing, right? They like completely ignore what is so obvious. It's crazy. Can you talk, Instagram's asking, can you talk more about the reverse repo crisis? I do quite often on the YouTube, so I would highly recommend checking it out. I am not planning on doing talks about that possibly, we'll see, but in the video that posts tomorrow morning. I'm looking for this to kind of be boosted a little higher up above that $1 trillion mark, but we'll see. Reverse repos, let me just say it very quickly for anybody who's watching right now. 165 eyes on here right now, and I just want to say reverse repo, they could be loaning that money out to people. They could be loaning it out, but instead they found a way through the Federal Reserve to basically circle this money around and around and around. They get a very small return, but when you're talking about close to $1 trillion in a single day moving through that system, whereby, maybe it's 80 different institutions, you split that up, and however they're going through the system and overnight to make a little bit of no risk money. That's what they're doing. No risk. A person who's borrowing your money, like somebody who wants to, take out a loan for a house or whatever, that's a risk. That's a risk. Of course, there's the house there if they want to, but there's no risk in doing this at the Federal Reserve. At least that's the way they see it. I worked at Domino's. This is Instagram. If you're checking this out, David Wong. I worked at Domino's and we had a $5 medium one-topping pizza deal around 2011. So look at where it is 10 years later. Crazy. Price just keeps going up and up and up. I'm going to take off in a couple minutes here, guys. See if there's any other questions. Any other questions, let me know. Or else I got a few more minutes. I'm going to be, people have asked me before, how do I get the recordings of this? Because this I basically, I remove. I take that off. You can go to Twitter, you can go to Facebook. If you want to get those, go to Twitter, go to Facebook, and you will be able to see the replay. Or you can just wait until tomorrow. It's totally up to you. And then we just do another live. I'm going to try to keep these to 1 hour or so. 1 hour and a half goes real long. So I'm definitely going to try to keep it like that, and we'll see what happens. Thank you for sharing. Absolutely. Yelling memes in the background. Yes. Jeff, unfortunately, got a few pieces of hate mail from people who were saying don't be silly, don't do the kitten thing, and so we'll see. Anyway, gotta back off of that. I'm not on Rumble, but I'm on Odyssey. I'm on like a lot of different platforms. The problem with all these other platforms is, quite frankly, the audience is extremely small, and there's no revenue or very minuscule revenue. If there's a way to sort of pull that automatically, like Odyssey does, I would do it for sure. But like with BitChute, it just didn't work. I contacted the support. I'm trying this and that. It wasn't working. They couldn't help me, so I just gave up. But they were being posted there at some point. All right. Look, there's multiple people asking about the kittens. Guys, I apologize that some people don't want it. You are transparent. Yes. I'm trying to be the most transparent you're going to see. Like a lot of people, they get up there, they do their video. They have zero idea of what's happening with their subscribers at all. Like there's just zero care about it. And I think that's the exact opposite thing you should be doing. Now, again, my channel hasn't grown. Theirs grows, but I think that, actually trying to be, as informative as possible, as helpful as possible, as honest as possible is always the best strategy. Okay, a couple more comments in here. Make a separate channel to upload your live streams to. It help prevents the algorithm from messing up. I'm not sure if that's accurate, to be honest with you. If I just remove the live stream off, like if I did a separate live stream channel, there would be only, maybe 50 people that would show up at any given point. It would probably be much, because even now there's not enough people that are notified about it. You got to understand the way it works. So when you first post something, it doesn't go to all subscribers. It only goes to a limited set of the subscribers. Not every subscriber is notified. Once it makes it through those subscribers, it is what did they do with that video? And this comes from something called Creator Insiders, who is a group of people who actually work at YouTube, and they output videos to help content creators. And they say, what did the people do with the video? So if they didn't like it, if they didn't subscribe to it, if they didn't comment on it, nothing like that, there's then a less likely chance that the next group of subscribers are going to find out about it, or other people in general. So without those shares, without those likes, essentially, maybe they watch it, maybe they watch half of it, whatever it might be, but the algorithm basically sees it as, well, this guy didn't really like it, so let's not push it out to the other group. Let's push out, whoever this is instead. YouTube would count your OG channel as a new one and a new one as one, and shadow ban both. Probably because they are connected, right? You're sure to see through. Yes, I realize that. I'm a ghost, apparently. The ghost GPS. Thanks for all you do. Back up channel off platform is a necessity. You're only going to get 7 shares of YouTube. Yeah, I have it backed up on Odyssey. All the videos go up to Odyssey. Yes. All right, guys, I'm going to take off. I haven't got your, here, see a perfect example. I haven't got notifications of your live streams. Now, that might be because you got to go in. If everybody's listening, you go in, hit the subscribe button. Of course, as always, hit the subscribe button. There's a little bell beside you. Click on the bell and there are options. So these options are like relatively new. And within those options, you're going to be able to select like notify me every time. There's some options within it. And that's the way to be notified, at least have a better chance of being notified. But other than that, like for the main videos anyway, if you see this right here, this is the insiders, okay? The insiders is my way to get around all of these systems. The insiders allows you to basically receive the email of the day, which contains a video of the day, and you know for sure you're gonna get it because I'm giving you the link directly. That's my way to do it. It's totally free, of course, and it's available at themoneygps.com. Hey David, I wouldn't usually comment, but I'm not sure if anyone has mentioned it, but during your interviews, I noticed you were looking down. Might be nice if you look directly. Yeah, Jordan, so the camera, like if you see where I'm looking right now, that's my screen. Up here, that's my camera. I don't have another way to do it unless I'm looking at this camera directly, but now I can't see the person because the person's down there. If I had a better setup, if I had a real studio or something, then I could make it happen. But I do appreciate the feedback, and I agree with you. It would be nicer to, even though I'm just off to the side, or I would show just the person who's talking. I get that. I got to do everything low tech because quite frankly, the monetary rewards from this platform are very low. So I have to do what I can. I got a camera up here. It's got a light around it, a ring light, and I've got, you know, what I can. I'm doing what I can, essentially. Will I get a Money GPS gift box monthly? Yes. A whole bunch of emails, one per day with the video of the day. That's your gift box. All right. Haven't been to the Money GPS lately, but I learned a lot from this channel. Well, I appreciate you coming on, Raymond. Thank you very much. Sign up for the notifications and follow on Instagram and double your chances of getting notified of the live streams. Yes, absolutely. Appreciate that. Looking forward to the interviews and your upcoming financial videos on all economic levels. Yes. Stay tuned. Thank you, Susan. Thank you, everybody. I'm going to keep doing this, keep bringing out more and more good stuff. The 10K studio drive. Yes. Would be nice to have a real studio, I'll tell you. Would collectively liken the video midway through the stream and shock the algo versus here and there? I'm not sure. I'm not sure how it works, to be honest with you. They don't really give much detail. Salty Cracker? I've never heard of that person. All right, guys, I'm taking off. Money GPS is essential truth. Keep up the great work. Thank you very much. Appreciate everybody coming in today. You've got to check out my video tomorrow. Lots of detail coming through. Highly recommend it. I'm trying to make little tweaks and little changes, of course, to the graphics and everything, trying to make it a little bit more visually entertaining for new people coming in. I know you like the truth, you've been here for a while, but others who have been around are kind of just coming in for the first time, having that little bit of visual flair helps to keep them entertained and so on. So that's it. I'm taking off. Thank you once.